I'll get the tongs.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Video shows officers on top of a man in the middle of the afternoon, in the middle of the summer, in the middle of a record-breaking heat wave.
Welcome everybody, and thanks for tuning in to today's video news story here on the Junkyard News. In today's video news story, we're going to be briefly talking about the Phoenix Police Department and a new incident that just came to light where Phoenix Police Department cooked a man alive when they detained him without cause, holding him down on the hot asphalt in record degree heat. You see, as Phoenix Police deal with the fallout of the recent video of the beating of a deaf man and face the threat of federal oversight, the department is now set to face a lawsuit after a man suffered third-degree burns across much of his body during a detainment that never should have happened. See, Michael Kenyon, who has not been charged with any crime for this incident, spent more than a month hospitalized with burns to his face, arms, chest, and legs. There's even some chunks of flesh that are now missing above the knees. Phoenix police are demonstrating an utter disregard for human life over and over again. This young man was burned to the third degree because his skin was cooked on the hot asphalt while police were pushing and pressing down his body against this hot asphalt when they were detaining him for something that he had nothing to do with. When asked if he believed officers cooked his client, Kenyon's attorney said, "There is no doubt. Our client was cooked alive." Now, Phoenix police said Kenyon struggled with their officers and added that the incident is still the subject of a criminal and internal investigation. The incident happened on the afternoon of July 6th of this year, when the temperature had reached 114 degrees in Phoenix. Surveillance video shows Kenyon was stopped by officers and questioned in a parking lot. You see, he was on his way to the store, and in the meantime, for something totally irrelevant to him, his roommate had called to report a theft. So as the police were driving around, I guess they were just stopping people walking around indiscriminately, Maybe they thought, hey, one of these people we stopped will get lucky. Cell phone video shows Kenyon yelling out, "Please, please, I can't move, it hurts, I didn't do anything," during the detainment. In an interview with news agencies, Kenyon said he believes officers stopped him because his roommate had recently reported a theft from their home, which is across the street from the parking lot. So he was close to his apartment on his way to the store, and I guess that's why police decided to stop and talk to him, even though he had done nothing wrong. Police did later determine Kenyon was not the suspect of any theft. Kenyon states, "So I walked up to them with my phone in my hand and said, 'Hey, what happened? What's going on?' Something like that. One officer all of a sudden grabbed me by one of my wrists. The other officer grabbed me by my other wrist. They said to me in a mean, hostile way, 'You're being detained.' And I said, 'I'm on the phone. What do you mean? I didn't do anything wrong. Please explain what's going on.' And they were like, 'Why are you getting antsy? Why do you seem like you're nervous?' Excuse me? Two cops for no reason just walk up and grab you and put your hands on you, and who's not going to tense up? Who's not going to be like, what the hell's going on?" It's a normal response. Kenyon told the officers, "I'm not. You're just scaring me. Can you please explain to me what's going on? Let me sit down." Kenyon says police said, "Give me your arms and stop resisting." And I think that's when like 5 cops were on top of me in a second. And I'm screaming for help. I'm scared. All of a sudden my skin starts burning and I'm thinking, this is literally how Floyd was like, And at one point Kenyon thought this is the end of him. Video does also appear to show that officers were kneeling on his head and neck during the incident. Kenyon says the pain was just unbearable. Be careful, people, I'm telling you, or the next video we cover and the next news story you hear on this channel, we could be talking about you and an interaction you have with a Leo in the next one.
That man has not been charged for this incident, but he spent more than a month in the hospital with third-degree burns. His attorneys say officers literally cooked him on the blacktop. We've blurred the pictures of those burns here, but we're going to show you more of that.
Phoenix PD has issued a statement saying the case is still under both a criminal and internal investigation. What day did this happen?
July 6th.
Okay.
I believe it was like around 2 in the afternoon.
And it was pretty hot that day, right? Like 115 or something?
I believe it was breaking record, yeah.
Yeah. This is Michael Kenyon, and it was actually 114 on that day. And what happened left him with scars all over his body, up and down his arms, across his chest, on his legs, with chunks missing from his knees. It happened in a parking lot off 7th Street, just north of downtown. Surveillance video shows Michael on the phone walking to the store. That's when a police SUV pulled up behind him. He says the officers told him to come here, and he did.
I walked up to them and with my phone in the hand and said what happened or what's going on. I don't really remember what I said, but I came back. One officer grabbed my one wrist, and then the other officer grabbed my other wrist.
Before we go further, here's the backstory. Michael lives in a house close by, practically across the street. And according to Michael, his roommate had just reported a theft from their house. So there was a theft situation going on.
Right, and he just...
But it wasn't involving you, right?
No.
A court record search shows Michael has a handful of misdemeanor cases in Arizona. 3 dismissed, 1 guilty judgment for criminal damage, and on this day, he had an outstanding warrant for a failure to appear. But Michael claims he didn't know he had a warrant. And police confirmed these officers didn't know about it. Remember, we don't have body camera video, so we can't hear what's happening.
And then they told me like instantly in a mean hostile voice that they were saying like, you're being detained, and I said, but I'm on the phone, what did I do? Like, I didn't do anything, please explain to me. And they're like, why are you getting antsy? Why are you, seem like you're nervous? And I said, I'm not, you scared me. Like you told me I'm being detained and I didn't do anything. Can you at least explain to me? I want to sit down, let me sit down. Like, look, I'm not trying to run. And I sat down on the back of some random person's truck tail.
I saw that, yeah. About 15 seconds later, Michael stands. The video shows them struggling for about 30 seconds. Then more officers run up and take him down.
They said, give me your arm, stop resisting. And I think that's when like 5 people were on me. And I'm just screaming for help. And I'm scared. I'm thinking like this is like the moment when, George Floyd was literally like...
He told us he thought of George Floyd because they were kneeling on his back and neck, in addition to the pavement burning his body.
This is it. This is all. This is me. I guess this is where I'm going to stay at. And
this is the end, you mean?
Yeah, this is the end.
Michael spent more than 4 minutes on the blacktop before getting handcuffed, then picked up and dragged to the police car. He said his skin was already bubbling and peeling away. Can you describe the pain? Like, how bad was it?
Like going through hell in Hades, I guess you'd say. It's like feels like your skin's melting off. The lady across the high-rise said that she thought an animal was dying, so that's why she looked out her window.
Firefighters arrived about 5 minutes after Michael was lifted from the ground. 7 minutes later, he was carted away and taken to the hospital.
The Phoenix police are demonstrating an utter disregard for human life. Sitting next to me is a young man whose skin has been burned to the 3rd degree because it was cooked on asphalt.
You feel like they cooked him on the asphalt?
Oh, they did. There's no doubt.
That's Bobby DiCello, one of Michael's lawyers. They're planning a lawsuit. They gave us the surveillance and cell phone video, but they say they have not been able to get the police reports either.
He had committed no crime and has never been charged with a crime, and he's spent over a month in a burn unit with police peeping through the windows to see what he was doing.
If true, that means Phoenix officers knew his condition was bad. And Michael says officers were there for days and often kept him handcuffed. Like, what do you mean they were there?
They were just outside the room. They had like this little like clicker thing that's like a blind inside the window, and they just wouldn't let me use my phone, contact my family, and it took certain cops to break the rules to let me use my phone.
He says police left after a friend called lawyers and they showed up at the hospital. Now, Michael was hospitalized for more than a month, first in a special burn unit, then in a rehab facility. He says the beginning was the worst, especially getting his dressings changed.
Just screaming at the top of my lungs, like wishing it was over, you know what I mean? I wouldn't wish it over.
Take a second. And you say you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Did you deserve what happened to you?
I don't think so, and sometimes I beat myself up thinking like, what could I have done to deserve this? And I still cry sometimes thinking that like I didn't do anything.
Their statement did say Michael was taken to the hospital and officers learned he had a felony warrant out for his arrest.
Videos uploaded by the Junkyard News are helped in part by viewers just like you. You can show your support for this channel by clicking the thumbs up, sharing our videos, or hitting that all-important support button on our channel page. Don't want to miss a video or a story? Make sure to check us out and like us on Facebook at The Junkyard News.